Hi guys, I'm Dale and I'm here to tell you about the pickup. Now I'm gonna give you a warning though, because I'm actually not a pickup guru, and in this cold weather I'm actually not that well hung either. However, actually I'm not even a pickup artist, because I don't wear clothes with little lights flashing, and I don't call myself something fancy like Big Master C. I don't write on any of the forums for pickup artists or pickup guys, the crowd that is interested in this art that we're performing. The thing I do have, however, is that I have actually mastered the inner game, and I will teach you how to do that as well. Now, for me, and this is based on my experience, and this is based on my observations, the game of pickup is at least 95% inner game and 5% of the outer game, the technique, so to speak. If you have a great inner game, if you can approach a woman or women and be confident, be natural, without having some kind of pick-up persona where you smell of incongruency, and without being afraid of the reactions that will happen sometime, then you will have a great result in your pickup. We all know that to be true. If you have that foundation and then add a basic understanding of the concepts that is attraction, comfort, seduction process, then you will become a pickup guru, or at least a pickup artist, and you can have a cool name and you can write cool blogs and be everything you want to be. So basically that's like 2-3 minutes left in this video. I would highly recommend you to watch it. I will explain how I stumbled into this, and I will talk a bit about the theory behind it, and then I'll give you an exercise to try out yourself, just to take the first step towards independence and towards a inner game that really works. Now when it comes to the inner game, I've been working on it for years, and I've listened to the tapes, I walked the imaginary lines back and forth, and basically if it was that easy, that all you had to do is listen to tape set while sleeping or while meditating, then everyone would do it, everyone would have a great inner game, and the pickup would be easy. We all know that's not the case, so I'm not going to say that it's all bullshit. I'm just going to say that it's maybe not effective for everyone. Might even not be effective for a big crowd. I think it could be effective for like 1 or 2% of the people trying it. The rest of us is just listen to tapes, walking imaginary lines, trying to get our inner voices to sound like goofy, and still getting shut down just because we don't have the inner game, we don't have the confidence when we approach the women. We don't even approach them because of lack of confidence. So, what the hell am I talking about then? Well, basically, since my first start with all this pickup concept, I've been trying to figure out how to become good at it. And I mustn't say that I have improved. Obviously, it's been quite a rush. Not as much as I had hoped for. But I did get a few nice girls to hang around with. And that's when I ran into another problem, which is for the sex life. I love to have sex, and I really enjoy when the girls I'm with enjoy it too. However, that was not always the case. Sometimes they came, sometimes they didn't come. Sometimes I came way too fast. And basically this all made me kind of feel, I don't know what to say actually. It's less than adequate. So I figured that I have to do something about this. And I started to look around on the internet, and I found some ebooks, I watched some videos, nothing that really worked for me, until I found this one thing that actually changed my life, at least when it comes to the sex bit. So I learned some cool technique that within 24 hours made me last at least twice as long. I learned how to give the girls orgasm every single time. And my change was amazing. When I came to my girlfriends and were supposed to have sex, I felt relaxed, I felt confidence, and I really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it in a completely different way than I had before, because I've always had this thought in the back of my head saying, I hope that I can make her come, I hope I won't come too fast myself. Now, in this process, as I had done it for I think it took me about 4 or 5 weeks to really become confident that I had the control of my own body. That will say that I can now come whenever I feel like it. If I want to have sex in half an hour, I will have sex for 30 minutes. If I want to come after 15 minutes, I can do that. And I'm pretty confident that I could make any girl come that I would meet. Now this was not intended to be a pick-up technique. This was intended for me to have better relations with a girl that I already picked up. However, the completely opposite happened. Well, I don't know if you could call it completely opposite, because I did get a much better relation with the girls I've already picked up, but anyhow, I noticed that when I approached women, I did it with a completely different feeling, completely different mindset. And I started to think about it. What the hell has changed, Why does it work for me now? Why does my inner game work? And accordingly, why does the outer game work? And I would guess that the outer game works because of the inner game. However, the inner game works because when I meet the girl now, I know in my mind and in my heart, and I know that I can take her to sexual heights that she has never experienced. I know that if we end up in bed, she will have the time of her life, she will tell her friends about it, and that feels great. So I started thinking about that. Is it strange that if you approach a woman and you're not sure about your sexuality, and I'm not meaning if you're sure about if you like women or men, I mean if you approach a woman and you're not sure that you can satisfy her sexually, even if you don't have that in mind, even if you just want to have someone to make out with on the dance floor, it will still be in the back of your head, because that's the way we are wired in naturally. We are here to reproduce, we are here to have sex. So if you're not confident that you can perform in the bed, that will come through, and you will be incongruent. You can pretend to be the most, the most confident guy in the world, but if you somewhere in the back of your mind, in your subconscious, you don't even have to think about it consciously, but in your subconscious you know that you might not be able to satisfy her, then that will screw you up. And I can give you an example. Most of you guys know Steve P or Steve Pickus. If you don't, Google him. He's a great guy. I would highly recommend you to check out his White Tiger Tantra video on looks alone. Do you think that the fact that Steve knows when he starts a conversation with a woman that he can make her come in a way that she have never come before, that he can take her to sexual heights beyond her imagination. Do you think that that could somehow influence the way he speaks with her and the way he comes across when she looks at him and listens to him? I would say, of course. I mean, if you know that you can make a girl happier than she's ever been, she will notice it. You don't have to tell her. She will notice it. So basically, that is, in a nutshell, the secret of the inner game that by some reason people don't talk about. You will have to get your own sexuality, the women you talk to come when you feel like it. And when you know that, and when you know it in your mind, you know it in your heart, then the inner game will sort itself out. You will not have to listen to any tapes. You will not have to try to hear Disney characters in your head. It will just work out. Trust me. And the best thing about it is, once you pick him up, you will have better time with him than you ever had before. So, I kind of promised you a technique, something to try out. I will give you that, and then I think this video is getting kind of long, so I will actually put up a part 2 of this. And in the bottom here, where there's the description for this video is, I will put a link to video number 2. So just click that link, and on video 2 I will talk a bit more about where I found this information and how I've been using it. But before you do that, try this exercise out. Just to make sure that you know for yourself that you have it right here, what it takes to change your world. So what I want you to do is to take a book, and this is a book with text, not a book with pictures. Open it up on a page, don't read the page, just open up the page, put the book upside down, and I just can check out that I'm still alone here, yep, and then you start to masturbate. And when you're masturbating, I want you to make sure to have some kind of scale in your head. Most people use a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is no arousal and 10 is when you come. So, start masturbating, follow on your imaginary scale, and when you're at somewhere like 6 or 7, open up the book. Don't stop masturbating. You will have to do 2 things at once now. So you keep on masturbating, you open up the book, and you start reading the page. Now this is very important. People mess this up all the time. Read the page. Don't just look at the words now. You have to read the page. You have to understand the meanings that you're reading. Because what you're trying to do is to override the smaller part of your brain that is involved in your arousal by using the bigger part of your brain that is involved in reading. So, you're at the 6 or at the 7, you're stroking it or doing it however you like to do it at home. Start reading and just notice what will happen on that scale. And I can guarantee that you will feel a decline in arousal. And that's just one technique. If you want to use it while having intercourse, you can actually. It works. Just that it's not that fun, to bring out a book in the middle of it. But anyway, try that one out, and if it works for you, which I'm sure it will, click on the link below and check out video number 2, and we'll talk some more about techniques and especially where to get the resources that are needed to master this. And it's actually a pretty easy, straightforward thing to do. But I really recommend you to first do the exercise so that you know that this is not one of those bullshit kind of things that you heard so much about when it comes to the inner game. This is for real, right? See you in the next video.